All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. A lot to get into on today's episode. We have 8 questions from IG, so we'll do a little Q&A here in just a second. We're going to talk about Topps basketball, talk about the NBA playoffs, and make some predictions for that. We've got play of the week, but first, we'll start with the usual. We'll start with what's on your mind. I know Ty is locked in. He's ready to go. So, Ty, we'll start with you today.
I appreciate that. First, I'm liking Lou's shirt. Court gave the first shout out, but it's a little OG vintage Apple computer. Yep,
it's from an Apple offsite in like '98 or something.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's very cool.
Thank you.
Played some basketball this morning with the gang. Game was all right. I was hot early. Hit a big.
Did G get hurt or something?
Yep.
Yeah, he said
his back a little bit.
Pain. Yeah.
Yep. That was a tough scene. Ready for Knicks playoffs. I believe they start this Saturday.
A New York-Ohio matchup. How fitting for Card Talk.
A New York-Ohio matchup. That is a great shout by you. Masters wrapped up. I numerous times on Sunday, I sat in front of the TV while I was kind of bouncing back and forth between the Easter dinner table, which is more like a late lunch, 3:30, 4:15 type of table. And I just kept being like, it's Masters Sunday. I'm just really happy right now. Someone made a great tweet. It was like Masters Sunday when it ends is kind of like as a little kid, like right after you open that last present on Christmas. Like you're happy, you're pumped. It's been a great morning, but like you gotta wait a year for that moment again. Like just like
but that's what makes it so great.
It's like that was great, but like damn, I need it again. But you're right, it is what makes it so great. Champions League starts back up today, and I'm playing some footy tonight. 1:37 p.m. FC is up and running. Trying to stay consistent in the gym, trying to stay fit, stay active. Up 11 pounds to date, which I'm pretty excited about. It's helping my post moves. The Rangers, pumped about the Rangers. The Garden's gonna be rocking. And then this auction that we went through, I'm like, I wish I made some plays. This Golden Age Auctions had a really cool Masters auction. It's very fun to just go check out the results. Yeah, there was so many cool stuff. Some really cool photos, old photos, just old memorabilia, some putters.
We should put the link in the description.
Yeah. Golden Age Auctions. Jay, we'll put that in the description, but I've had a lot of fun following that and just enjoying my collecting journey.
Very cool. And just to be clear, the auction already ended. Looking at what some of it sold for. Some like Tiger Woods used putters doing $250,000. Tiger 97 final round golf ball doing like $65K. Some OG like Magnolia Lane in Augusta, Georgia, Masters photos. Some like, who was it? Arnold Palmer and someone else.
Oh yeah, the Ben Hogan Arnold Palmer smoking photo is the best one.
Smoking.
They're standing on the tee box, ripping a dart. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
So good. And I didn't really touch on Tiger before I handed it over. Tough scene for Tiger. He was battling, clearly wasn't healthy. The weather just did him no justice, no favors. And I have to be at the Masters next year. I will be there. It's my first ever Masters, 364 days. Can't wait. 363.
I think it's worth pointing out, Ty, like I know we talked about it a little offline, but Lou, I think you said what, 12 million?
What?
Watchers, Master Sunday?
Yes.
12 million viewers for Master Sunday, most for a golf tournament, I think Lou said in the last 5 years, which is important. Again, good to see golf getting views, getting attention outside of Tiger, right? The day will come where Tiger Woods is not a part of golf, and it feels like he's carried golf for so long.
It's coming soon.
But to see 12 million with Tiger not, he made the cut, but obviously withdrew early in the third round. That was tough to watch, watching him trying to limp around on the golf course. That was pretty rough. I think Barstool tweeted it, but said that, was it Jason Day that said like one of Tiger's screws broke through his like skin on his like repaired leg. That's why I had to redraw. I'm like, oh my goodness. But yeah,
Terrible.
it was fun to watch. I watched a good amount of the last round.
Sunday was epic. I mean, John
Yeah, it
Rahm
was.
played 30 holes of golf on Sunday.
Ty, can you elaborate a little bit more, maybe for some of us that are not quite the golf experts? Obviously, everybody's been behind a slow group if you ever played golf, but sounds like,
Yep.
Was it Patrick Cantlay and Victor
Yeah.
Hovland?
Yep.
Apparently, like, had one of the longer rounds. Like John Rahm said, he used the bathroom 7 times, but sounds
Yep.
like it was a lengthy round behind those two.
Yeah. So, the marathon that was, first and foremost, 18 holes of golf on a normal day is about in between 7 and 8 miles of walking. Augusta National is pretty much the most hilly change in elevation. So they probably walked anywhere from probably 15 miles on Sunday. Then from a mental focus standpoint, what you're playing for, like if you win the Masters, first off, you're in the Masters tournament for the rest of your life. Like
That's how it works.
full stop. You win one time, you're in it forever in perpetuity.
And you get to do
which was why it was kind of, if you did and you host a dinner, you're always part of that. You get a green jacket. You can only take the green jacket off the property for the first year. Then when you return for the tournament, the only time you can wear the jacket is when you're on the property. So it's this very club of like winners. But why it was important on the Brooks side is because they're kind of finalizing the lawsuits right now. But for Liv, they're not going to count the points for the rankings. So a lot of these guys, like there might come a time where the Liv players don't have the points to qualify to make it, right? So Phil will always play because he was a winner. I'm trying to think who else. Sergio Garcia always will play. But like someone like Brooks, who even has 4 majors but no Masters, may not. That's one tournament they may not be able to get in, I believe. So you're talking about walking 15 miles mentally, one shot. One shank. If you've ever played golf, like you get one hosel rocket and that place, you're losing 3 strokes and you're out and you got to regain it. So every minute for
what happened to Scotty on Sunday?
You're like dialed in. Scotty kind of got hot. He couldn't miss.
And then he hit a double and that was the end.
Yeah, that par 3.
Exactly. He flew it. I was like, he was really charging. I had a nice top 5 Scotty wager.
So did I. Very sad.
Devastating. But yeah, it's a marathon. And then from a nutrition standpoint, when you're that focused, when you're putting in that much effort physically to stay getting the protein, the carb intake, and then what, like the pacing, like everything is kind of like tempo and you got a routine and all that. When you're playing behind someone that is just taking 10 years to stay focused in everything, every moment, like it matters a lot. So it was a brutal grind, but even just showed how John Rahm is the best golfer on the planet right now.
So Ty,
the strength he plays with is insane.
Just to like link it back to cards, how many of those guys that were like in contention, top 10, how many of those guys actually have cards right now? Like, does Rahm have cards? Does Scotty have cards?
I thought Scotty does. I think a lot of them have.
It's SI for kids.
A lot of them have SI for kids, but Phil Mickelson's got to have a little something.
Rahm's
it's funny. We talked about it last time, and you mentioned it.
John Rahm 9.5, Sports Illustrated for kids. This would have been a great time to do over under. We're going to push over under back. We'll get into that in a second. But there was a sale this morning. Before you guys look, any guesses on what it would have sold for?
On a John Rahm SI for kids?
Yep.
9.5.
It's a BGS 9.5. Not number. It's a Sports Illustrated.
400.
I'm sorry, Ty. What was your guess, Lou? What was your guess?
Mine was 400.
All right. Let me pull up 130 point. Let me get you the exact comp. Let me see. It's gonna surprise some people. It sold. It sold on April like 5th. My internet's going a little slow. Shout out to Ohio. April 5th sold for $5,000 or best offer.
No, before the Masters sold for that much?
$5K or best offer for a 9.5. I mean, raw, like one just did $70, one did $50, another one did $75. A PSA authentic signed one, not graded, did $750. They do anywhere from like $50 to $75, but what's the 9.5? 9.5. A 9 did 635. Where's this at?
It's like 600.
It said it's still for 5K or best offer, but it doesn't show up under sales.1 130 point. There was another sale at 3,500 or best offer in February, and there was a sale at April 5th for 5K or best offer.
So in that
crazy.
lot, a special inaugural set of the 1990 Pro Set PGA Tour golf cards, complete autographed set, went for $662.40 on 20 bids. But like we talked about, it's golfing has, even in that lot, like people collect a lot of random tchotchkes in golf, ball markers. All the clubs have unique logos. Flags are a big thing, signed flags, hats. Big thing at the Masters is the badges. Yep, exactly. The programs. So golf is like people collect nonstop in golf, and it's a very like customizable thing. So I don't think it's as predominant of a cards collecting hobby, but collecting is massive in golf.
Fair.
But that's enough golf. I need to play golf, and it's getting warm in New York.
All right, Lou, what's on your mind?
Baseball. I've been watching a lot of baseball. Like, it's just
Any
my
initial
favorite thing in
thoughts?
the world. Finishing out my day, popping on an Astros game or whatever game is on, and just watching it for 2 hours, and then it's over. It's great. Love it.
Wait, so you're happy?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's actually really good for like night to night viewing because it's good to have on in the background. But if the Astros game, they play a lot on the West Coast, the game starts at 9:00. It's over by 11:30, so I could at least attempt to go to bed at a decent hour.
What's the general vibe across baseball on these rule changes?
I think it's all positive. I think the base thing is going under the radar a little bit because everyone was so focused on the pitch clock, but steals are up a huge amount. Steal attempts are up a huge amount. Everyone's running a lot more. And with the shift rule, it's changing how guys are hitting. A lot of guys are hitting a lot better. So there's been a lot more offense. Really, the only time these games are going long is when you get a situation where a pitcher unravels, and with the pitch clock, you don't have time to settle down, and you get 4 or 5 runs in an inning. So the innings run a little bit long. But it's been really fun. Shout out to the Rays. I think the Rays are 10-0 now, maybe 11-0. Outscoring opponents like 1,000,000 to 1, 78-18 or something. I saw. We can get the exact number. And then Wander Franco. I feel like I missed an opportunity to buy some nice Wanders because that guy can really play. I think he's hitting like 315 to start the year. He's got 5 homers already.
315 to start. That's wild.
Yeah, he's an incredible player. And the Rays might be legit. They have legit pitching. They have legit hitting. They need some more, but they're pretty good. I think they're the best team in the AL East. Obviously, they're 10-0 or whatever. But
I think they're the best team in baseball. I think they're the only undefeated team in baseball.
But I think they're the best team in the AL East. Like in their division, they're the best team. I think.
How's Aaron Judge doing to start the year?
He's doing pretty good. He gets the Goldilocks balls, hits the ball really far. Everyone gets excited. It's good stuff. I think he had 2 home runs on Easter. That's cool.
Did he?
Yeah.
It's a nice Easter Sunday. All rise.
Makes you feel good.
I
actually was looking into going to an Orioles Astros game because I could sit next to the Astros dugout for like $100. So I think I'm going to do that this summer.
Not much action in Baltimore.
Can't imagine they're getting a lot of people out of the ballpark for Astros Orioles in August. On a Tuesday in August, probably not going to be a packed day.
I'd agree.
But yeah, so I think I need to decide if I'm going to buy Wander, and if it's going to happen, it has to happen before the end of this month because it might get a little bit sketchy if they're legit.
his stuff's definitely
and obviously it's a long season, right? Like they're gonna have a 2-month stretch where they win 10 games in total, but that's just baseball. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do. And also Odell Beckham Jr. to the Ravens, disappointing, but it is what it is.
It seems wild if Lamar doesn't want to be there.
Well, it seems pretty obvious that they overpaid for him to make sure Lamar comes back.
Is Odell Beckham Jr. enough to make Lamar Jackson come back?
He's the best wide receiver on the market. Trying to make a point, trying to make your quarterback happy. You do what you got to do.
Yeah, but I don't know if
He's the
Lamar's at
best receiver on the market.
For sure.
post ACL tear.
Who else is out there?
I guess no one's out there.
Yeah, I mean nobody stands out.
He got $15 million for 1 year, guys.
I know. I chalk half of it up to the marketing budget. You know, make the Ravens look cool. Sell some tickets.
It's not
Get them
wrong.
popping on TikTok. I respect it. Ryan, what's on your mind today, Ryan?
Cards. Yeah, I mean, every day. You guys know it's cards. It's continues to be a wide or like a large volume of singles. That is what moving. That is what's moving. We've definitely made some adjustments in shop on just continuing to pump out new things for sale. It is a big part of our business, and it has continued to grow over the last 6 to 8 months, especially really since like Q4 of 2022. It is definitely what's moving. So, Lou, what were you going to say? Oh, I thought you said something. Sorry. So yeah, cards. Prism Basketball comes out tomorrow, right in time for the NBA playoffs, which is kind of crazy to think about.
That kind of is sneaky good timing in a weird way.
Yeah, I mean the tricky part is I don't know if there's many guys on playoff teams that are in that. Like,
yeah, but it's all like in the ether. It's in the world right now.
Fair. Yeah, so Prism Basketball coming out tomorrow is a big deal. I mean, some big basketball. Yeah, Paolo, stud. My guy, Benedict, what is it? Mathurin. I mean,
shout out.
Rookie of the year pick. I mean, he's not going to win. Banchero, lose guy, is going to run away with it. But yeah, I mean, big few weeks here for basketball. You just had Eminence Basketball. That was obviously crazy. That's the biggest product they make. Flawless Basketball from the year prior is about to come out, literally as the playoffs for the second season. These guys' sophomore seasons is almost over. That's, to me, is crazy. Like, again, like I'm ready for the calendar to be back on schedule. I know Panini's talked about getting it done by the end of the year. So hopefully, fingers crossed that that stays the same and that happens. But yeah, I mean, I will say it is what we sell the most. So my vision is certainly blinded on that. But there's a good amount of interest in football. Like normally you have a lull post season, like season ends. There's a little bit of buzz still, but it dies off pre-draft. And then the draft guys get weapons. Camp is not far away. Like there's demand for football post-draft. Like, hey, this team got this guy. This team got this guy. Camps come in like this guy's going to be good. And there's a slow uptick until the national. But it seems like there isn't necessarily that lull. And I don't know, is it there's still football product coming out? Is that keeping the market up? Is there other factors at play here? But like I talk about it a lot. Like I've been trying to pick up T-Law. Like T-Law is a guy that I see a lot of demand in. Like T-Law stuff is up. There's demand for field stuff like Joe Burrow and Mahomes. Like again, I haven't checked every single card across the board on every single player, but it definitely seems like there's interest in that stuff. Obviously, some of the baseball guys are hot. Wander's a good one. Jordan Walker. I mean, I think he's got a hit in every one of his games so far. So some cool stuff there. So yeah, cards. Yeah, cards. That's what's on my mind. Cards. I did also see quickly Ruben posted a video on his IG page about
their facility.
Yeah, their facility they're building, like the mock-up of what the Fanatics facility will look like. I thought that was kind of cool. I always like it when like companies give like a behind the scenes look or like just an insight to what the business looks like. I think it's cool. So
I don't know when I'm going to be allowed to walk around in that place, but I would like the opportunity just to walk around and see how it all goes down. Just saying.
Yep. I've toured Panini a couple times. We got to tour Panini together. I think all of us did.
But I want to see like the facility.
Yeah, sure. Very cool.
I agree.
We talked about Prism Basketball, so I think we should make predictions. I've not looked at the bracket until let's pull it up right now. But okay. I think we should do NBA Finals predictions. Who's going to go and who's going to win? Ty, you look focused. So you got your picks ready?
Yeah, I got Suns Warriors in the Western Conference semis.
No Nuggets, no MPJ.
I know. I'm pulling for the Suns. Shout out my boy Nate. Shout out KD. I want to watch.
Yeah, I
KD
kind of
play
want it for
basketball.
Nate.
I just want to watch. I want to watch KD play basketball. I like watching him play basketball. There's a lot of baggage there, and I didn't like him on the Nets. Pissed me off, and now he's not on the Nets. And my good friend is like a true Suns fan.
True blue, the only one I know.
So I'm pulling for him. Denver's going to be a lot to get through, but I want to see a little Suns Warriors. We'll see about those Kings, but Suns Warriors, Suns going through. And then I got Bucks Philly because I think
Boston's
Boston.
not it.
Stop.
Joke.
Stop.
But the Knicks, I got the Knicks win a playoff series. First time in a long time.
Jason would bet anything that the Cavs will lose to the Knicks. No,
no. What's the line? I don't know what the line is, but chances are the Knicks do not go through. But that being said, I've got a Bucks Suns final, and I think it would be electric. And I think Giannis just continues to dominate. If they stay healthy, it's like I think he's the guy.
I mean, this is the most confusing thing in the world. I'm trying to follow this. I'm like,
why don't you just look at gambling?
It's actually pretty simple.
It's pretty straightforward.
No. The 7 and 8 play. 7 and 8 play. Whoever wins is the 7 seed. If you lose, you have to then play one of the 9 or 10 seed, which is essentially 7 and 8 play a 3-game series to get in. You win that first, you're in as a 7 seed. 7 and 8 loses, they get another shot out. And the 9 and 10 have to win 2 games to get in.
All right, I'm gonna go right while you think yours through. Is that okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm still trying to find it. I'm trying to figure it out.
All right, I'll do Suns Lakers, Western Conference Finals.
Suns Lakers. I love it.
Is that even possible? Yeah. I don't even know.
It is.
It is? Okay, definitely. Great. Just Suns Lakers. Yep.
They would have to win tonight, but the Lakers.
And I'm going to take the Suns to go to the finals. Feels like an obvious pick, but that's what I'm going to do. And then I wanted to take Bucks Sixers as well, but I'll take Sixers Celtics just for fun.
Can't happen, I don't think.
Can't happen?
No, the 2-3 would play.
All right, so then I'll just go Bucks Sixers again, but I'm going to take the Sixers to win.
Wow.
Embiid finally climbs mountaintop, gets to the finals.
Finally.
Gets to the mountaintop. And then I will go Suns to win.
All right, this is great. Shout out to whoever did this. I mean, what do we got here? Picks.nba.com. You can do the bracket. You can predict how many games these guys.
Did you just say who came up with this? And you said picks.nba.com. That'd be the NBA who did that.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to them.
Shout out to the NBA.
It was ChatGPT, bro.
Shout out to them. This is electric. As much as I would love to pick the Cavs, I'm not going to. I'm going to go Denver Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. I'm going to pick Denver to go. I think Denver's got a lot of talent there. I'm going to go chalk there, and then I'm going to pick Boston. I think the Celtics are going to get done. I like Tatum. I've been on Tatum for a long, long time, and they're good. So I'm going to go 1-2, Denver, Boston, and then I'm going to say, man, this is tough. This is so tough. Denver, Boston, huh? I'm going to go Boston. I don't know. Did I pick Boston last year? I'm going to go Boston. I want to see the Celtics get it done. Love to see Tatum and Jaylen Brown get a ring. So,
be a real shame if they lost and then Jaylen Brown went to a different city. That'd be a shame.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a shame. So, I mean, the Suns is the 4 seed. That's definitely trouble for whoever they play. I mean, it looks like they play Denver in the second round. So,
aren't the Suns undefeated when KD and Booker play together? It's 6 games, but I think they're undefeated in those games.
They've only played, I think that's true. They've only played a couple together. But all right, Those are predictions. Would you
Wait,
play?
can we play a quick game? Here's I'm gonna throw a little off the wall at you guys.
I like it. Yep.
What is one card? Who is the one player whose card will rise the highest during the NBA playoffs?
I mean, I think it comes down to who you think is going to win, right? Like that.
Not necessarily.
Doesn't have to be, but
Why are you smiling?
because who do you think I'm gonna say?
You're going to say MPJ or
Yeah, you're not allowed to
Kevin
say
Durant.
that. But you can't even get him in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
They don't have, like, what if I'm wrong about my picks, but right about this one?
Fair. Like, for example, I would pick Jaylen Brown because I think Jaylen Brown becomes like the leader of this playoff run.
Yeah, I think Tatum's near the top of that list. Donovan Mitchell could be interesting should they do anything. But I think Embiid is probably one of the safer picks. He's going to be one of the top 2 or 3 guys. I mean, the MVP race, I think at this point is what? Isn't it Pick'em? Like between him, Jokic, and Giannis. Is it?
I think.
Is it over?
Well, didn't Embiid like give it up when he didn't play last week or something like that?
We put up
What
52
MVP? No, it's
put up, like,
Embiid, Giannis, and Jokic.
Yeah, it's one of those 3. I think it's like pretty open.
Jokic has this like it's the awards. It's the whole conversation kind of grinds my gears.
Yeah, it's stupid. It becomes about narrative and not about like
exactly. It's like he can't win 3 in a row because no one else has won 3 in a row.
You're not allowed to win 3 in a row. It's like why?
And it's like all these dudes like Boogie Cousins from the sidelines. Like Boogie, I respect your game. I loved watching you play a lot, but like, guess what? It's irrelevant what you think about what should happen for the MVP. And like it's a media narrative thing, and so it's like, who do you give it to? Like,
I think Embiid's going to win it for that.
Which is like, should he win it because he's the MVP, or should it because you can't give it to another guy that should be it but isn't it because he had it too many times? Why don't you just give it to LeBron every time?
Haven't Giannis and Jokic won the last 4?
I think it was back to back and back to back.
Didn't they both go back to back? I think they're literally 2. I mean, I think they've literally got the last 4.
DeMarcus Cousins said he was the 3rd best center in the league.
Yo, Boogie was nice at one point.
No, right now he's the 3rd best center in the league.
He said that. Well, he's pissed he's not playing. He thinks he's got blackballed. And it's like, got backballed because your back keeps blowing out.
He just signed with a team in the Puerto Rican Professional Basketball League. Let's go, Boogie.
Yo, Boogie was nice at one point.
He was.
Boogie, he early big man with the 3.
A lot of guys were nice. Like Dwight Howard, like the Dwight Howard prime days, like.
Yeah, Dwight Howard was serious. That was a weird time in the NBA when he was wearing the Superman
costume.
Going
back and forth with Shaq.
Like Griffin was jumping over IKEA.
Yeah.
Weird time.
Linsanity was like booming.
I remember Linsanity so well. I was watching a lot of those games alone in hotel rooms while I was on the Penn State lacrosse team. We were traveling all over.
Crazy. All right, let's get into questions.
Did we answer? Did everyone give their answers to Lou's off the wall question?
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you were the only one that didn't. You giggled. I said it could be Mitchell or Tatum, but I think Embiid has the most upside, the most to gain.
It's not true, but underrated. Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is a player that is overshadowed by another player.
You disrespected the question.
I said MPJ, but then I just wanted to throw a little love to
Those are both just
I get it. I'm kidding.
Drew Holiday. Have you watched him play basketball? He's a gamer.
JSC_collections1. How do you mentally get over when you believe in a player and miss?
Shoot or shoot.
You're not failing, you're not trying.
Shoot or shoot.
All of those things, and I think I like to put players in context. I try to when I'm trying to decide if I've actually missed on someone or not, I'm like, all right, who is this guy really like? Like who do his numbers reflect? And then if I look at that player and I'm like, oh, that's not anything to get excited about. I'm like, oh, okay. Kind of, I did this with Elijah Moore, where there was a point in the middle of last year, like November, I was like, Rondale Moore is significantly more accomplished than he is so far, and Rondale Moore isn't anything crazy, so maybe I got some problems here.
Rondale Moore I would keep my profanity. That dude smoked Ohio State. One of the worst losses I've ever seen. Just absolutely just smoked us. Smoked us.
My answer would be focus on those that you believed in and didn't miss. Spend your mental energy on reaffirming the ones you got right and what did you do right in those scenarios. But how about we extend the question real quick? Who is someone that you both have missed on?
I got out early.
Definitely people
early, but one of the bigger ones I was in on a lot was Darnold. I mean, I was sold Darnold was the real deal. I could have sworn he was going to be good. I got out of most of them. I made pretty good money on him, but thought he was going to be good. I had hoped Derek Carr would figure it out sooner. Another one of those guys I had a bunch of got out on. But I wish Carr would. I thought Carr would have figured it out at some point. There's a million. I mean, I could go back.
Yeah,
David Cobb, the running back from Minnesota, was dropped.
David Cobb,
dude, thought he was going to be great. You know, another guy I had a bunch of at one point. Martavis Bryant, wide receiver for the Steelers from Clemson, dogged Ohio State. Who was that? Was that Bradley Roby? Dogged us. I mean, dude was amazing. Was that on Clemson with DeAndre Hopkins? Star, just couldn't stay off the weed, and that's before the NFL had their the rules.
Stay off.
Yeah, I mean, stud. He had Contenders rookie autos that dropped in Panini Rewards one time, early in the day, and they were cheap. Made a boatload of those. That was 9 years ago.
That's crazy to think about, huh?
Martavis Bryant was 9 years ago.
Yeah, 2014. Yeah,
the
made
Steelers
a bunch of money off that dude. Thought he was going to be the star. Yeah, I mean, again, that's just the way I look at it. You move on. It's not something to sit and dwell on. It's on to the next one. It's move it and move on. It's part of cards.
It's kind of it's when you think about it in real life too. An NFL draft, if a GM hits one guy in the top 50, they're feeling pretty good about themselves. And they make a lot of picks.
You hit 3 in the top 40 or 50.
That's why it was so crazy that happened.
It's the 18 draft for the Colts, Darius Leonard or Shaquille Leonard and Quentin Nelson. It doesn't happen often, but when you hit big,
and we're taking JSN this year, 13.
Who the Jets? Jadon Sancho. Sancho.
Tough one.
I was all in on Mbappe, and I just took the foot off the gas for two dudes, Sancho and Felix.
Well, Felix was
Yeah, both of them have been Both of them, I should have kept going harder on Mbappe, but I wanted to get cute.
It happens.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
That's my guy, Eckelberg.
Eckelberg, 220. How does Lou feel about the Astros' slow start / losing a series to the Twins?
I think that when you're a 2-time champion, perennial World Series contender for 5 years in a row, 7 years in a row, whatever it is, you don't really get too worked up about April. When you're the Twins, you get fired up about April and being the defending champions. Levels.
There are levels.
But there actually are concerned with the Astros, but no one cares, so I'm not going to get into it.
What are your concerns, Lou?
Pitching.
You think losing Verlander hurt?
Yeah. I mean, he's not playing, so he wouldn't change anything, but I just think that we are not all the way there pitching.
Who's your starting pitcher?
Really the bullpen. Valdez, Javier, those are the two main guys. Those guys are great. It's everybody else. The bullpen is concerning. We need bullpen help. Bad.
Altuve being out hurt?
Not as much as I thought it would. Because they have guys coming off the bench you can hit.
All right. Daniel Holmes, is it easier to flip from in-person buying to online or buying online than selling in person? That's a great question.
It's probably buying in person and selling online.
Lou, sorry, I missed that. What did you say?
I think it's buying in person and selling online.
You
can make a deal with a person. I guess you could say it the other way as well. But
yeah, I would probably agree. Buying in person and selling online is easier, especially if there's not a comp on that card. You buy online and you've got a comp on it. But the one thing about the market now versus when I started this 17 years ago. Like the biggest difference now is all of the marketplaces. So I think, I know people in cards now that make a living, run a business buying off different auction platforms and selling them like through Instagram, through Twitter, through shows, like doing that stuff. Like you buy on alt, you buy on Golden, you buy on PWCC, you buy on eBay, you buy on whatnot, you buy on all these apps, right? Like, again, there's so many places to buy cards now. Like you saw the play last week from Aaron. Like he's going into the shop and buying from our value boxes that haven't been updated or weren't priced correctly. Like there's deals there. Like there's deals on, like somebody's auctioning cards right now and whatnot, and it's 10:41 a.m. And there's probably a deal there. And PWCC and Golden and all these guys have weekly auctions. Like there's the ability to buy is endless. And it's like, sometimes they do really well, sometimes they don't. And there's certainly opportunities. So yeah, I think the ability to buy it in person and sell on many platforms, many places online gives you options. So I would say buying in person to selling online.
Yeah, like I think you can find a dollar box that sells for $80 on eBay faster than you're going to find something you buy for $3 on eBay and you sell it in person for $80.
That's a great point. I would, love it. 1,000%. Agreed. Not a sad life. Who would you like to see in the next Topps Big League release?
Me? No.
Is that what this is? Is that what Ryan was in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Card Talk boys. It's pretty straightforward.
Triple Card Talk. That would be cool to put like podcast cards in there.
If we get our own version of that LeBron, Melo, and Darko card.
Yeah, that's what we need. Bad.
That would be great because that's a Topps product, Topps Matrix.
Just saying. Just came with an idea.
About it in the intro. We haven't talked about it, but Topps did say, like I saw Shams tweeted that Topps is bringing back basketball.
Oh yeah, how did we not talk about that?
We brought it up a little bit. But like Topps Matrix, triples, little Card Talk triple.
Same.
It would be the boys. And then
I want like Cruz, Brody. I want that as a set. I want the future.
Yeah.
But they have to be in Bowman.
Prospecting the next generation of cards.
They need to be in Bowman though.
I want to see my guy Tosin. He's like really giving it a go. Really putting it in with
He's
content.
doing some great stuff.
Like he's really, and with the jerseys, like I'm excited to see what the next couple of years look like for him because I think he can build something real special. Like,
and Ty, he's got the same interest in blank slates like you do.
Yep. And then
Tyler infected his brain on that one.
Antoine Griezmann.
That's a yes.
Who else?
I think it would be cool to see an athlete set that collects cards.
That's what I'm going at. Is like athletes,
like Blaze Jordan, AJ Dillon, Antoine Griezmann, Tosin. Like the list is Mike Trout collects cards. Like the list
Trout's
of those
an actual
guys.
collector now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time collector. Really big.
He's also a golf course owner and designer.
Yeah, with Tiger. That was crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Holders cards. What is one product in the hobby that you cannot live without? Flawless collegiate football.
Flawless collegiate football.
Yeah, Ohio State, baby. That's what got him in the game.
Absolutely. I'm a collector, man. Like,
what a very
collect what you like.
Specific choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean. Lou, I feel like yours would be Contenders Optic.
Yeah, but I don't have enough of that, so it's like hard for me to use that as my choice. But I'll use
I think it's more like if there's a product you don't want to see go away, what would it be?
World Cup Prism. My answer is World Cup Prism.
Yeah,
comes out. Yeah. It's once every 4 years, but it's World Cup Prism. I love.
Man, remember soccer, right?
Like in general, like.
Yeah, remember when people cared.
Champions League today. Erling Haaland's got a big one against Bayern.
Oh, I saw somebody pull one in your shop, right?
Yeah, that was crazy. Panini sent us some boxes to give away. Somebody won it. Didn't collect sports cards. They only collected Pokemon. Sold the box. Somebody hit that Erling Haaland auto in that box they sold.
Sick.
He's a good. I know that the father. I feel like
Vadim. He's a New York guy. Bagels.
Yeah, I was like, why is he? What was
the best bagels in the world? Like, it sent us bagels like once every couple months. Like since the
He just goes out to Ohio to rip wax.
Yeah, I came out with his son for kids trade night.
That's amazing.
He really wanted a box.
Yeah, we saw him when we were in New York a few weeks ago, visiting for Card Talk, right?
Yeah.
Episode 137.
Yeah.
We got to see them, like Hudson. He's like young collector. Got to hang out with them, and again, they always had his bagels. They're top, best bagels I've ever had. Again, that's a New York thing. Like bagels are elite there. Got to give props to New York where I can. Like the bagels are elite. So yeah, it was awesome. It was cool. We captured the moment like so perfectly. It was very.
It was great. Those photos were great. I enjoyed that Twitter post.
Yeah. All right. Play and Collects. Are you coming to Germany's first 2-day German card show on September 2nd and 3rd? Well, I will have a kid that will be a few months old at that point. So no, I will not be there.
So that's a no.
For
September
sure,
2nd. I think the Jets might be playing in Germany this year, by the way.
Really?
I think I saw something about that.
I'm a London guy. Germany,
Yeah.
I don't see myself getting over to Germany for a card show anytime soon. But I do.
The London card show, man.
Yeah, electric. I'm gonna keep hitting that London show, watching that thing build, support. Big fan.
Last question. Card Collector 1116. Thoughts on how Topps NBA unlicensed cards affects Wembenyama rookie card values? Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. Like Panini's got the licensing through I think like October of 2025 or March of 2026. They've got football till one of those dates, and they've got basketball till one of those dates. It's October of 2025 and football or like March of 2026. So one of those products, one of the licensing they lose first, and then one of them they lose like 6 months later. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with his. I'm going to assume, just based off market trends now and the data we see now, that it won't sell as well as a Prism card. The interesting part in this, and I've seen some people tweet about this, and this is what I'm going to be very curious to see how it unravels. It's happened in the past, like Panini's done it with hockey when Lafreniere was a rookie. Panini doesn't have the hockey license. They signed Lafreniere to an autograph deal, and Upper Deck, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think Upper Deck had his rookie autos in, like, see, but he's got Exquisite, or he's got the Cup. Like, how did that work? Didn't Panini sign him to like a deal tie? Like, they had Contenders autos. There was a bunch of like Lafreniere exclusive drops. So it's going to be weird. The point being is there's been talks that what if Topps signs Victor to an exclusive deal? They're just like, hey, we'll give you all of this money. You can't sign with anyone else. What would that do? Non-autographed cards or autographed cards, no licensing. Non-autographed cards with licensing. How does that affect? Ben Simmons did it. Ben Simmons didn't have rookie autos. He was in Upper Deck. So he had Exquisite. He had Goodwin. He had things with no logos on them. They were like street clothes or suits or things like that. What would that do to the cards? I think that's an interesting question because one of the biggest prospects in a minute, probably since Zion, prospect-wise and hype-wise, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there.
It will. I think that the licensing matters. I think the parallels would matter. But I think what it really is about is 23, trying to put pressure on getting those Panini licenses a year or two early.
But yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to, right?
1,000%.
So I think I think people will want the Topps product. It'll be new.
I think so
It'll
too.
be fresh.
Yeah, like I think if he's like, again, I don't think he's in this one, but Bowman Chrome University basketball comes out in May. I think we're 6 weeks away from that. I've talked about this before. Caitlin Clark is in it. There'll be top basketball prospects in it. If Wembenyama is in Bowman Chrome University, with or without licensing, it will matter. 100% people will want that product. Especially, this will matter too if Topps can get first to market on his cards. Panini's just now getting to Prism basketball. They haven't even released Flawless Football or Flawless Basketball from 21-22. I think being first to market and being early on some of those cards will definitely matter.
I agree.
Agreed.
So, all right, that was the last question. Shout out to everybody for the questions. Again, Facebook is where we solicit most of those questions. Card Talk Pod on there. Jay and Court also do it on Twitter and IG as well at Card Talk Pod. So if you guys are ever interested in getting questions on the show, make sure you follow us on those platforms as well.
Yep.
All right, play of the week. Again, we didn't talk about it too much, Jay, before we hop into play of the week. We did not do over-under this week. We did get some feedback on that, and we have decided that we're still going to do it for sure, but it will likely be more of a once-a-month type thing. We'll kind of play it by ear, but the intention is to continue to do over-under, but likely do that on a monthly basis rather than every single week. We've realized it's a little bit harder and needs some adjusting for our listeners, not necessarily people that are watching it on YouTube. So we've taken that feedback and we will adjust, but it will return here in the near future. So without further ado, play of the week. Let's see what we got this week.
Let's go.
All right. So this is crazy. Somebody told me about this dude at Mint like 10 days ago and said this dude's a real deal. I forget who it was. I would love to give them credit, and I didn't do anything. So the play is on Kenny Lofton Jr. Here's the play. It's from Just Run 7.
But not that Kenny Lofton.
Yes, correct.
Or that Kenny Lofton.
Or, yeah.
It's from Just Run 7_sports. Last week, I was at a local flea market buying from a dealer friend that I often buy from. He put a lot aside to show me, see if I was interested. It's mostly basketball and football, which isn't my main focus as baseball is. I almost passed, but the main card was a Kenneth Lofton Donruss auto at a 30. Lot was priced at $200 with the Lofton valued around $80. I decided to take on the shot on the lot because I loved watching his father play baseball when I was younger and figured I could make some money on the lot. Fast forward a week, the auction ends around the same time. Lofton drops 42 and grabs 14 boards for the Grizzlies. The card ended up selling at auction for $2,136. The buyer paid shortly after winning. Timing is everything in this hobby, and I got lucky here.
Respect. Fact check from the production team. Kenneth Lofton is not Kenny Lofton's son.
I was almost going to say that. I was like, I don't think that's who that is.
Yep. But neither here nor there. Timing does matter, but making the play matters more. A lot of people would think about it, say, yeah, and then look back and say, it was in my hand and I could have sold it, blah, blah, blah. Action is what gets rewarded in this hobby.
That's right.
Shout out to
It's
Kenneth
a beautiful
Lofton's
play,
father.
and I love this dude's game. I love watching this guy play basketball.
Really? I haven't seen him play.
Is he good?
Yeah, he played in the Rising Stars.
We'll see him in the playoffs, right?
Game. We should see him in the playoffs. I don't know how much burn he'll get.
I think it's important because I think he signed a contract on this day. I think he signed a 2-year NBA contract on the day he put up 42 points. I'm almost 1,000.
Yeah, it was his debut. It was his debut for sure. He's smooth.
Shout out to Kenneth Lofton's father, though, who served in the United States Army and worked in the U.S. Postal Service for 18 years.
Respect. Big fucking respect.
Shout out Wikipedia on that one.
Yeah. Kenneth Lofton. Where was he in college again?
Louisiana Tech.
Yeah. Didn't he have a little run? I feel like he got buckets in the tourney.
Possibly. I like this play, though.
Jay, what's next? This is from School Creek Cards. When Top Series 1 came out, I saw they had a new Golden Mirror SSP. Being a Royals fan, I decided to look for some of our players and saw Salvi had a really cool photo. I picked one up on eBay for a total of $53 and change after fees. SGC was offering $9 grading, so I sent it in along with a couple other Royals rookies I pulled. Came back at 10, and at that point, I had decided if it really had a place in my PC. Decided to list it for $150 oboe and got an offer for $120. I took it, and after all was settled, I finished with a profit of $43. Excuse me, enough to cover the cost of another raw Salvi if I decided it had a spot in my PC. Thanks for your consideration.
Smart. So I've actually been.
Shout out Adam on the new Instagram account, by the way.
Shout out Adam. Something I've been struggling with is I like to do a little hits parlay. Like not every day, but like every now and again, you do like, hey, this got to get a hit, that got to get a hit, that got to get a hit. It's like plus 250. So you get like 4 guys across 4 different games, you even get a hit. I've been avoiding using Astros because I can't get myself to bet on an Astros game because I find myself sitting there and I'm like, all right, I need, Mauricio Dubon to get a hit right now when not necessarily, that's not really what I need in the moment. So this is fun because it's a cool way to interact with your teams and the people and the guys that you know really, really well and make a little extra cash. Also, Salvi Perez, one of the great fantasy catchers of all time, Guy hit 20 home runs a year for like 9 years in a row, and then randomly had a 50 home run year a couple years ago. Love Salvador Perez.
I do think it is cool. I talked about this the other day offline, but I do think it's a very unique opportunity that SGC does with like grading cards as sets come out. They did it with what was the first one they did it with, like Bowman Chrome or Topps Chrome. They did a first one, it was like $9, and then they did this Topps one for $9. But they've done a few of these where like a product comes out and they partner with Topps and get the cards graded. It was Bowman Chrome Baseball, I think. But I think it's a cool opportunity for people to grade cards at a cheaper price for a certain window of time. So I like to play. Jay, what's next? Jay. Ty, I'll let you take this one.
I got you. This is from Austin Vella.
What a diva.
Austin Vella. Play of the week submission here. I apologize in advance for the length, but this play spans 5 years and needs some context. As a big Xander Bogaerts collector, I would often scan Twitter for his cards by searching Bogaerts and looking through the media filter so only pictures, videos would show. Twitter's great for that, by the way. I came across something I've never seen before. A Xander Topps Chrome 2014 rookie with no RC Shield logo. The Twitter user labeled it as an error, and that's what I thought it was as well. We ended up making a deal. I sent him a 2019 Topps 5-star Paul Goldschmidt base auto for it. To note, I got the Goldschmidt auto from a fire sale in a baseball card group on Facebook in 2019 for $15. When the Bogaerts card arrived, I examined the card a little closer and made a shocking discovery. The text on the back of the card was written in Dutch. The presumed error card was actually a rookie super short print. I had only heard about these, never seen a photo of one, never mind one posted up for sale on any platform. It's rumored to be limited to anywhere from of 15 to of 25, but Topps did not release much info on it. This immediately went to the PC for years. As my Bogaerts collection grew and rumors about him moving on from the Red Sox grew stronger, I decided to move on from it. I got it graded by PSA, knowing the card had some surface flaws. I wasn't concerned about the grade, but really wanted to authenticate it and have it labeled as Dutch back, thinking many probably don't realize that this thing even exists. This card came back a PSA 8. I listed it on eBay and ended up selling for $550 to a Padres fan. Happy to pass a rare card off to a new fan. Use that money to fund another hobby of mine. Bought a new PXG driver and Callaway golf bag and prep for a big season. Thanks for the consideration, fellas. Been a listener of the show from the beginning. Let's go, Austin.
Let's go.
That is fantastic.
Let's go. From a Twitter search, fire sale Paul Goldschmidt 2019 to a new PXG driver. And you got rid of some Red Sox cards along the way.
Cards, man.
Cards.
Gotta
love it.
That's electric. That's incredible.
Facebook fire sale to a new PXG driver with a little Callaway bag. Get the year going right. Austin Vella. I'd love to play some golf with you one day. Maybe you could join the Card Talk boys for our annual outing. I like to play. I respect to play. Dutch back matters.
Yeah,
I would love to know more about this.
What do you want to know?
I just don't know what this Dutch back thing is. I wish I knew more about it.
I've never heard about it ever in my life.
And like no RC logo feels like it should be more meaningful.
I wonder if the no rookie logo is what you find on the Dutch backs ones.
Maybe, yeah. Who else has a Dutch back?
This is definitely something. If this is something that is like common and every player has these, there are definitely some of these in a value box somewhere for sure.
Most definitely. But why a Dutch back?
People are talking about this.
There's chatter on the Dutch back?
There is some chatter on the Xander Bogaerts Dutch back Topps Chrome. There's like 4 or 5 threads about it. Is he Dutch?
Only
That's
on
a stupid
Xander?
question. He is Dutch. So maybe it was like a giveaway or something? Who knows?
I'm going to find out. Let the people
Pretty
know.
cool. Next.
Yeah, next play. Incredible. NF Cards 12. This will be cool. Back in 2021, I was watching Anthony Richardson get some reps behind Emory Jones, which then made me become a fan of his game. I saw an electric QB with a huge arm, so leading up to the next college football season, I was on the hunt for some of his cards, but unfortunately, not many were listed. But starting in September of 2012 or 2022, when college season started, more and more came out. From September to February, once the hype started to get high leading up to the combine and prices rose, I've been picking up a bunch of autos between $15 and $40. I recently listed two I didn't mind letting go. I purchased a purple out of 20 for 36 and a black numbered out of 15 jersey numbered out of his jersey number for 45. Sold the out of 20 for an offer of 100 on Mercari, and an out of 15 I took an offer of 130 on eBay. Made about $119 between both after profit. I still have a bunch left, including some jersey numbered, some out of 2, out of 3, out of 15, and more, but plan to sell some draft night and keep some for the PC. I really believe in his potential and hope he lands with the right coaching staff.
It's dope. Good for you.
It's like a solid play.
Solid.
It's a respectable. It feels like someone that's focused.
Yeah, Jay says NF Card submits every week and still hasn't won.
Feels like that's on Jay because we don't see them every week.
Yeah.
Well, if the play isn't worthy getting on the show, you can't get mad at Jay for that.
I'm not saying it. I'm just saying it feels like Jay was trying to nudge us, like throw the man a bone, and I'm like, I'm not seeing his plays every week.
Interesting. I just read it as like a little factoid.
His plays are in every week. You just haven't noticed that he's constantly in the mix, but he's always in every week. He just hasn't won yet. I mean,
shout out to NF Cards 12 for being, eligible for play of the week every week and getting on here. I mean, that speaks volumes for sure, but I'm not here. This isn't, play of the week isn't a charity thing here.
I wasn't suggesting we throw him a bone. I was just pointing out that the man he's getting after it. He's making.
Jay, you see how narratives get spun up because Ty said you were trying to throw him a bone.
Let's not get mistaken here. This could totally be Jay's buddy.
See Jay, you see what they're doing? They're trying to break you up, Jay. I'm not going to let them do it.
It's just wild because Ryan saw blood in the water. He had Tyler egging him on, and he's always down for a good Jay bassing session. But
that's right.
I was just pointing out that we respect the guy for throwing a submission in every week. He's grinding.
It just seemed like a little leading, like, hey man, this guy's never won play of the week. He's been on every week.
Don't take the bait.
I'm gonna leave on a high note.
Attaboy, Jay. Also, go out on top.
I just wanted it. NF Cards is not in it every week.
I don't know. I think you might be setting yourself up for a little bit of a disaster here.
I think Jay filters them out.
I will collate how many times he's been in the last 3 months. I think you'll be surprised.
Collate.
Yeah, it's not to say again. These are great plays. That's what play of the week is.
It is a respectable play.
I'm talking about a 5-year Xander Bogaerts Dutch back nobody on the internet's ever heard of, selling for $550 to a new fan. I'm like,
agreed.
Next play, Jay.
Jay, I love you. I just want to, is this Dutch back? Oh. Xander Bogaerts is officially Dutch backs.
I wish it was in the mix. I bought a Xander Bogaerts Dutch back from somebody on the internet because I was a Padres fan. Then I decided to list it for $10,000 and sold it.
Xander Bogaerts is Dutch.
Then I sold it to Max Verstappen for $10,000.
These are really good plays. I mean, the lock-in's great and super timely. Like cashing in on the day he signs that contract, puts up 42. Like made $1,800 on that's a lot. Like the Salvi, what does he call him? Salvi play, Salvador Perez, SGC 10, taking advantage of the $9, debating if it's for your PC, moving on. And then the Anthony Richardson, like seeing that Emory Jones was a Buckeye, transferred down to Florida. I believe he wanted to be closer to home. Transferred down there. Richardson does a lot, like had a great start to the year. Like he was hot early, for sure. It was hot in the start of the season. So buying some of those, holding him. He'll be a first-round draft pick most likely. Like could go one.
Most likely, it might be the number one pick.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you just never know. I heard something the other day. Hendon Hooker might go first round too. It sounds like the draft could get crazy.
Come on, we don't think Anthony Richardson's going to be a good quarterback in the NFL, do we?
I'm not.
People think that. It's crazy. He's objectively inaccurate based on every Florida game I've ever watched. I don't see it either, but it's happening. This is what happens every year.
It happens every year, man. It's like we don't watch the tape of the games these guys play. It's just like, hey, man, they're big and they, like Will Levis eats a banana with the peel on. Like it's just like, yeah, what? Man, you never seen this? You You never seen
was
that?
weird. Yeah.
Will Levis eats a banana with a peel.
You just shot that in the first round if I'm in charge.
Yeah. Will Levis was at Penn State. Couldn't get past Shawnee Cliff.
Yeah,
Went
if
to
you can't
Kentucky.
beat out that guy, I mean, how really good? Like, are you really that good?
He's a running back.
I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that. Joe Burrow got beat up by Haskins, but he broke his thumb.
True,
Kind of iffy
true.
there.
Yeah.
Anyways, to me, it's the Xander Bogaerts.
The Dutch back? Yeah, I gotta respect the Dutch back. Also, I read it and I try to give it my all. I feel like you
Hey.
pack in the reading sometimes, and I really try to.
No, you brought some energy to that. That was good.
Yeah,
Well.
shout out to Austin on that.
Thank you for caring.
But Jay, did we ever pick like who ended up winning the Bo Nix or Mickey Mouse play?
I think Mickey won.
Oh,
court question mark.
deflection.
Oh,
I feel like that was
boy.
a deflection.
Oh,
like
that's
that was a deflection.
definitely
That's
a
a deflection like you read about.
Yeah.
That was. I mean,
Jay
you're
put in the
supposed
chat
to
for
own
those-
that. You're
Jay
supposed
put
to
in the-
step out in front and say
He's
we're
laughing.
not sure.
I've been
supposed to-
here trying to back him up all show
Yikes.
long, and here we
Yikes.
are.
0
That is a
days
moment
since-
where you step up, you say we're not
Yikes.
sure, and
We're
then
gonna
you
look
deal with
into it.
later.
We'll
0 days.
confirm.
0 days.
Damn.
Yikes. Well, I guess we have to figure out that one and announce that play of the week winner here. in a
Let me
few weeks.
guess. NF Cards submitted one
Yeah.
of those.
Jay, that's
Just eating it. I like it. I respect it. Come on and just eat it, Jay.
All right, real quick.
didn't say a word. Not a peep came
Yeah,
out
for
of
those
his
that
mouth.
weren't watching, Jay came on and just giggled in chat while we just absolutely roasted him. Just sat there and took it too. So shout out to Jay for that.
It's a good job, Jay.
But latest launch, we do have some big products this week. Like I mentioned earlier, Prism Basketball comes out this week. Again, premier product across football and basketball for sure. That comes out by the time you're listening to this. It will drop Wednesday. You've also got
I'd like to
Leaf.
confirm Bo Nix won.
Bo next
Bo
one.
Nix won. So Bo Nix was the
won
winner.
won
The super, somebody bought it, sold it online for like 5 G's, bought it like for 800. Drove 2 hours in LA to their card shop.
How
Ty,
do you remember that?
I'm locked in on Card
for a
Talk. Like,
living. Yeah.
yeah, I've
Good for
He's-
you.
does this for a living.
Ty, you
What
got
were you gonna-
Donner
you were
Soccer.
gonna-
That's what I was gonna say. Donner Soccer. We definitely need a Tosin Kaboom.
I need the Tosin Rainbow. I need all of it. Actually, my homie hit me. He's sending me a purple Tosin. I mean, what I really need is a game worn Tosin, but Rye
Yeah, I was
just
supposed to get one of those. Like,
buried me with that one.
sorry,
Just
totally sorry.
absolutely buried me. I want to do one little minor thing. It's not really what's on your mind, but it's something that if you listen and in the comments, you'll be a day later, but I'd like everyone to do because I think it's a healthy thing to do. What is something you are looking forward to in the rest of your day?
Say that
Ryan?
again.
Just
Oh, you want
something
me
you're
to
looking
answer?
forward to. Yeah, for the rest of the day. What are you most excited about?
Oh, Real Housewives of New Jersey's on tonight, 9:00.
Oh, nice. I like
Reg
that.
and I have started building a nursery, so I have that project now.
Nice. What?
So-
What? Give me a specific. Like what?
Likely gonna
What
be animal themed. She wants to do like zoo animals, so
Cool.
I
Like-
love the zoo.
giraffes and elephants, stuff
Do you
like
have a
that.
favorite animal outside of like dog or cat?
no,
The classics.
not really. Like, no, nothing comes to mind. Like I had turtles, like small
What if they
turtles.
were on a card? If you could have one animal on a card, which card? What
Well, this
animal
is what I
would
was
you
thinking.
That's
Is
the
what I think I want to do is, Panini's got so many of the like zoo prints. What I think I want to do is get some like cards, like either all magged or all slabbed, and like put them in like the room, like an elephant print or a zebra or a tiger stripe. Like they've got goldfish. I mean, they got all these parallels now. Like you could build up.
Goldfish.
Yeah, they've got like. Don't they have like
There's,
a
the
goldfish parallel?
scaly.
Yeah,
Oh.
pretty sure it's from like Prism. Like, they got all these different parallels now. So like I feel like it would be cool to like have cards of those of like players or parallels of like guys I like or just cool cards and put those in the room.
Are you a dinosaur guy at all?
I was very big into dinosaurs when I was a kid, for sure.
Do you think they're real?
I love Lou's just something. Do you think they're real?
Something to think about.
Because
That was
velociraptors are cool.
The
Yeah.
coolest.
Right.
for sure.
When's the last time you watched Jurassic Park? Because great film.
Anytime I go home and there's cable, it's so nice. As someone that doesn't have like,
YouTube
I'm
TV,
a
bro. You gotta get
streaming
YouTube
guy.
TV.
I know, but when I go home, it's the full Xfinity package.
Oh
Like,
yeah, it's like
like
1,000
top
channels.
to bottom, like 1,000. I mean, bro, you can have a good time just seeing what's on. I mean,
It's
there's
like Stars
Jurassic-
4.
Yeah, and then there's always Jurassic Park running. One of them is always on. Harry Potter
That's so
always.
true. All right.
If you listen this far and you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment with what you're most looking forward to in your day. I think it's a nice practice. What I'm most looking forward to now is footy tonight. And if you're listening to audio, I would really, 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 really appreciate leaving a review on there. It's not something we've asked for in a long time. And just if you're listening to this, if you've made it through, if you enjoy the show at all and you're listening on audio, it would mean the world if you left a review. It's good to get feedback. Hope everyone has a great day.
See you guys.
Peace and love.
Peace.